category level 6D object pose estimation via cascaded relation and recurrent reconstruction networks. Object pose estimation is a very classical task in computer vision. Assume that we capture a RGB image or RGBD image for a target object. It involves in two typical coordinate systems. The one is object coordinate system. The other is camera coordinate system. Object pose estimation aims to estimate the 6D rigid transformation from the object coordinate system and the camera coordinate system. In other words, we hope to estimate the object pose taking the camera coordinate system as the reference. The 6D pose is composed of a 3D rotation and a 3D translation. Once this transformation is obtained, if we further assume the camera pose is known, we could determine the object position and orientation in the world coordinate system. This result could have extensive applications in many fields, such as pin picking in logistics environment, virtual reality, and medical automation. For a learning-based object pose estimation, there are two different settings. The one is instance-level object pose estimation. In this setting, the network is trained and can only be tested on the same object instances. For example, if we train the network on this little duck, we can apply the trained network to the same duck in different poses and different environments. But if we use the network to estimate the pose for a different duck, it produces a very poor performance. The second setting is category-level object pose estimation. In this setting, the network is trained on various instances, and then it can be tested on other unseen instances that belong to the same category with the training data. For example, if we train the network on this duck, the network is able to estimate poses for different ducks, which means that the network has a category-level pose estimation ability. Our method targets on the second setting. Compared with the instance-level method, the category-level setting has some specific challenges. On the one hand, the object CAD model is not available in category-level method, so it brings difficulty for determining the object coordinate system. On the other hand, the intra-class variation in shape, size, and texture makes it hard to match the object coordinate with the camera coordinate. To address these two challenges, existing methods use NOCS. It is a normalized object coordinate system to represent the object model or object point cloud. The NOCS model is a canonical representation for an object. It has two properties. Firstly, objects have normalized size in this space. Secondly, objects that belong to the same category have the same orientation in this space. So the NOCS representation manages to reduce the intra-class variation. After that, based on this representation, a neural network is trained for object pose estimation. Taking this mug as an example, the network would have three inputs, a RGB image patch, and the corresponding point cloud for the mug. These two inputs are in the camera coordinate system. The third input is a template point cloud for the mug category. The template is in the NOCS space, so we can refer to it as an object coordinate system. The network would have two predictions. The first is a pointwise deformation field. We add this prediction on the template point cloud to conduct point cloud deformation. Because the template is an average mug, it may be different with the observed mug in shape and size. So we adjust the template by deformation. The objective is to make the reconstructed object frame more close to the real observation. The second prediction is a correspondence matrix. For each point cloud observed by the camera, this matrix finds a matched point in the reconstructed template. So we construct a dense correspondence between the camera coordinate system and the object coordinate system. Based on the correspondences, we can estimate the object pose by similarity transformation, or perspective endpoints. This baseline can mitigate the influence of intra-class variation and achieves category-level pose estimation. But there are two problems that limit the overall performance. Firstly, the network takes multi-source inputs, including RGB image and point cloud, and also contain instance-related observations and category-related template. The inherent relations among these features have not been fully leveraged for pose estimation. Secondly, both the prediction of deformation field and correspondence matrix are dense regression schemes. It is not accurate enough to estimate them in only one single stage. So, in the following, we develop a network to address these two problems. In general, the network shares the same formulation and basic pose estimation scheme with the baseline. We develop two components to improve the baseline. Firstly, we introduce a cascaded relation network to capture the inherent relations among multi-source inputs. We hope to leverage the complementary advantages of them for pose estimation. Secondly, we present a recurrent reconstruction network for accurate estimation of deformation field and correspondence matrix. It is achieved by iteratively estimating the residuals and progressively refining the regression targets in multiple stages. For the cascaded relation network, we formulate the feature relations among instance image, instance point cloud, and category point cloud. In a cascaded manner, we capture the feature relation in two cascaded stages. In the first stage, we use an instance relation network to model the relations between instance image and instance point cloud. The FT extracted from image patches contains rich texture and semantic features, and FG extracted from point cloud contains important geometry information. We capture their relations and deeply integrate them because we hope to leverage the advantages of these two features to represent the observed instance. In addition, we refer to the relation-injected features as a residual and add the relation feature with the original feature. It is to drive the network to unearth as much complementary information as possible. In the second stage, we use a similar category relation network to capture relations between the enhanced instance features and the category features. In this stage, we globally correlate two features in order to accurately model the shape variation of instances from the same category. As for the specific design for the network, since the formulation of our cascaded relation network is general and flexible, it is not restricted by a specific network architecture, which means that any structure that can model relations can be directly applied to our framework. Before describing the recurrent reconstruction network, let's first recall the conventional single-stage scheme. In the single-stage scheme, starting from the category template, we predict a deformation field to deform the template and reconstruct the NOCS model for the observed instance. We further predict a correspondence matrix to match the observed point cloud and the reconstructed point cloud. Finally, the pose is estimated from dense correspondences. In our recurrent reconstruction network, we repeat the above scheme multiple times. In each stage, we replace the category template point cloud with the reconstruction result from the previous stage and estimate the residuals of the deformation field and the correspondence matrix to refine the estimation result from the previous stage. We impose supervisions on each recurrent step, and it impels the network to learn the regression residuals effectively. Finally, we use the prediction of the last stage for pose estimation. This is the whole framework of our proposed method. Next, we will discuss about the experiment results. We evaluate our method on camera and real datasets. The camera dataset is a virtual dataset generated by augmented reality technique, and it consists of 300,000 images. The real dataset is a dataset collected in real environment, and it consists of only 8,000 images. Both datasets cover the same 6 object categories. We quantitatively evaluate the estimated 6D object pose on the following metrics. First, 3D IOU. It measures the accuracy of the predicted 3D object bounding box. The predicted pose and the ground truth pose can determine 2 3D bounding boxes. Only when the overlapping of these 2 boxes is larger than a predefined threshold, the predicted pose is judged to be correct. In our experiment, we use 3D 50 and 3D 75, which take 50% and 75% as the intersection over union threshold respectively. Second, rotation and translation errors. We compute the rotation and translation errors between the predicted pose and the ground truth pose. If the rotation error is smaller than a threshold and the translation error is smaller than a threshold, the predicted pose is judged to be correct. The quantitative comparison on the camera 25 dataset is given in Table 1. With proposed relation-enhanced representation learning and recurrent NOCS model refinement, the pose accuracy of our method exceeds other methods with a large dataset where only the limited amount of training data is available. Our method consistently outperforms other methods. We also conduct quantitative ablation study of each network component. The results are given blue. Thus we can prove that the cascaded relation network significantly improves the accuracy of 6D object pose on both the camera 25 and the real 275 datasets. The recurrent reconstruction network can effectively enhance the quality of the reconstructed 3D NOCS model, as indicated by the metric of 3D IOU. The network, with both 2 components, achieves the best performance for category level 6D object pose estimation on both the camera 25 and the real 275 datasets. To evaluate the cascaded relation network, we test it with 3 different structures: the MLP-based relation network, the non-local-based relation network, and the transformer-based relation network. From the evaluation result, we can find that the cascaded relation network, with 3 different designs, can consistently improve the pose estimation accuracy, which demonstrates the effectiveness and flexibility of the proposed cascaded relation formulation. Comparing the last three rows of the table, removing the instance relation network or the category relation network would reduce the pose accuracy. The result validates the two individual components of the cascaded relation network. This slide presents a visualization of the learned instance relation between instance image and instance point cloud. The red line indicates the top 20 relations for the query position on the point cloud. The heat map in the bottom right corner visualizes the accumulated relation across the whole point cloud. The visualization result shows that the learned relation attend more to the distinctive boundary regions of the object, and these regions are very informative for pose estimation. To evaluate the recurrent reconstruction network, we compare the model reconstruction accuracy with and without the recurrent reconstruction network. Generally, the proposed recurrent scheme produces more accurate reconstruction results across all 6 object categories on both Camera 25 and Real 275 datasets. We also conduct an experiment on the number of stages for the recurrent reconstruction scheme. Gradually increasing the number of recurrent steps progressively improves the pose estimation outcomes. The pose accuracy consistently increases in the first 2 iterations and gets relatively stable after that. To draw a conclusion, the leverage of the multi-source feature relations improve the performance of object pose estimation. The recurrent reconstruction network improves the accuracy of model reconstruction and correspondence estimation, which thus also improves the pose estimation result. What's more, we achieve new state-of-the-art results for the challenging category level 60 object pose estimation on 2 benchmark datasets. Our project website is also given here. You can visit the website to download our paper and codes. These are the main references of our paper. Thanks for your watching.